It's a Sunday in Canggu, and we're going to drive the streets and fly the skies to take a look at the overall economic activity here. So if you'll bear with me, let's go and see how Canggu's doing. All right, we're starting off at the Canggu parking area to the this new statue of Ida Bhagawan Canggu, the mascot of Canggu. We're going to go down this street first. The Canggu parking lot is to my right, and we can take a look at the street. There's a bit of activity here at Love Anchor, and let me flip the camera around so you can see the street itself, which is probably the highlight. All right, streets are pretty empty at this point, but we haven't gotten to the really thick section of Canggu yet, so let's go a little bit further and see what we can see. Some pedestrian traffic, definitely a bit healthier than what we find in Seminyak, but this section is very empty. As you can see, the retail, not doing so good. The restaurants, which we're coming up to pretty soon, Lulu, empty. Bottega, empty. These bottle shops, empty. All right, there's this 7-Eleven clone full of people drinking in the front, along with some Gojek. All right, we're gonna pause here. All right, this is Mason. Mason is a perennial expat favorite. We usually have our founder meetings over here at Mason. It's doing okay. There's some traffic there. There's some occupancy in the tables I see inside. Let's keep on going towards the beach. All right. Now this part of Canggu used to be the real highlight area. It was very fashionable and sexy and also fun. Some activity, not totally dead. And we come to Milk and Madu. A bit busy in there. Okay, I looked inside, there are some people. La Calita, okay. Local, okay. All right, years ago, the Slow was the real spot to hang out, but the Slow is a little bit quiet these days. Okay, there's some failed businesses over here, over to the right. Not sure what that was. I guess we'll check it on Google Maps to see what was there before. And we'll keep on heading down. The street, Billy Ho, pretty empty inside Billy Ho. And we're getting to the nightlife districts. It's a little bit too early for nightlife, being about 8 p.m. or so. At the moment, we're coming to Aston. We're coming to this little bar where people come for the pre-game drinking session. Papa Lee's Taiwanese food, Tugu, also here as well. And as you can see, it's a little bit too early at Old Man's and Motel Mexicola for any activity, but yeah, it's not the nightlife hour at the moment. We're gonna turn right here and go towards the lawn. The lawn was doing fantastic for sunset. Excellent. The crowds were super thick, and I couldn't find an empty seat there. So the lawn is brought to you by the same people who do single fin. I think it's Ty Graham, and yeah, Ty was a championship surfer back in the day, but he comes from, I think, a culture or a family that understands what it takes to bring in the crowds. So they've been consistent on that. Yuki is Pat Agung's business. We interviewed Pat Agung a while back from our Sanur episode. He's a really successful Balinese entrepreneur, opening multiple restaurants in Bali. I look up and hope that his There we go. I hope Pat Agung's stories can be an inspiration to Balinese young entrepreneurs and founders that don't want to work in the hotel industry, start their own businesses and have, the courage to do their own thing, which is great. This is Baruna, which is at the Regent Hotel on my left. It's kind of a beach club, which is okay. And this is the drive up now. We're going to be driving away from the beach inland now. and check out the next side of Canggu. This street is entirely empty. There was like 2 people walking on it only. Now, dinner time is, of course, a ritual. Not everybody these days are going to be eating offline, meaning that the delivery business and Gojek and Grab Food are really also competing with a lot of these restaurants for dinner time attention. Okay, this place is packed. Te amo means I love you. And gourmet market, the supermarket business is thriving. So I've seen this happen even in Lombok, that with a lot of places now in Bali that you can cook, the grocery business is doing really well. I don't really see the point sometimes, because the cost of cooking oftentimes can be as expensive as going out, but also the cost of going out these days is also going up. Wow. Okay, Muda packed right back there. We're coming up to, I think, Penny Lane. I think this is Penny Lane. Penny Lane is also packed, doing very, very well. And yeah, this feels like peak season. So this part of Canggu feels alive and thriving. I mean, no congestion like the ways it used to be. This plaza over here is packed with parking, mostly from Gojek drivers though, waiting for their ride. So I wouldn't call that pure success yet. All right, we're making a turn, new street. New scene. Okay. Let's take a look at this. All right, this street over here, empty. Got some people walking. Pretty empty, not much happening. These Rip Curl stores and such, empty. Nothing going on in there. We got, the mini markets are doing really well apparently. Like a lot of people, I think, forgo drinking in bars. They just drink alcoholic beverages in mini markets. There was another Balinese entrepreneur, Pak Kadek, who owns the Double Six Club. He innovated and pivoted over to selling drinks rather than nightclubs. I think that was a smart move. I think the newer audiences these days are favoring drinking on a budget. And you see it all the time here in Bali. You see people actually drinking in outside of convenience stores. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I see more foreigners adopting what would be called local Balinese culture now. I mean, unfortunately, these are kind of street Balinese culture, not like high, sophisticated Balinese culture, like learning how to do legong dance or anything like that. But it is a form of cross-cultural fix. I think more aristocratic Balinese people need to bring foreigners into their lives in order to expose them to this. Okay, we're coming upon this street at the moment and it's empty, it's dead. So at the end we can expect to find La Brisa, but at this time, about 8 o'clock, some people in that bar over here, Cuba Libre, entirely dead. And well, thank God the exchange rate has gone down to 17 now. It was 18 for a while. That was very frightening. And traditional retail, some people waiting for rides. This market, this Canggu Center market, was doing really, really good during the daytime, and it's still doing pretty good right now. It's a flea market right outside of La Brisa. La Brisa does pretty much good all day long. Good job, Gonzalo. You have successfully figured out the secret to attracting crowds through all generations and all epochs of history. Gonzalo is the founder and innovator that brought us these venues, La Favela, La Brisa, La Plancha. Okay, and last one is numero cuatro right there, doing somewhat okay. All right, that's it. We've reached the original starting point. We've reached the original starting point of Canggu, which is Sunset Point here in Echo Beach. This was actually the OG place that expats used to hang out and bring their families on weekends, and this is the original point. There's a light crowd over there, as you can see, hanging out, listening to some music, just like the way it was traditionally. So that's it, that's a wrap. That's the street patrol here in Canggu.